This short video is about creating a map as a quick overview. Now, I assume you've started ArcGIS through the Enterprise login, and you've got your data on the L drive in the Lab 1 folder, and you've created your first empty map, and it looks something like this. So we just want to go through a few simple little steps that might help you. The detailed steps are all explained in their own little videos, but I just have an overview here. So I'm going to a couple of quick steps for the first piece. So I'm going to select the two default layers that show up and right click on them and select them with the left mouse and then push the delete key. Then the next thing I'm going to do is over on the map tab, I'm going to add data, and I'll add the data from my Lab 1 folder, the lakes and the roads. Okay, you want to make sure it's not CL roads, it's lakes and regular roads, plain roads. Then when the roads and lakes come up, they come up in the default colors, and you want to change the colors. Now, there's two ways to do this, one of which you can right-click on the particular data layer, and you could go to the symbology of it and change the symbology, and that's the same as true lakes or roads. So I'm going to click on the symbology of the roads, and it brings up the symbol over here. I closed it. Okay, and there's a couple of different, you can use some defaults, some special things, but the easy way is to click here and change the, and it keeps going away because I keep moving it. And so I'm going to change it to dark, and I'm going to make it a little darker and hit apply. So now I've got dark roads. Now the quicker way to do that, instead of right-clicking here and doing the symbology and messing around here with the symbology, is to, if you just select the color itself or the road line itself, and you right-click, and you could bring up the colors. And here I'm just going to go in and change the colors just as they are. So there's sort of a quick way, or you can go in and select the symbology and do some more detail change. Now I've got things pretty well the way I want, so I'm going to go to the Insert tab and do a new layout. And here I'm going to do a letter, but I could do a legal or a tabloid or something like that. I'm going to just do letter. And now it creates an empty place to put your map. So that empty place to put the map, now I want to put some subject on it. And in our instruction video, we talk about adding it with a catalog, and that's fine. But you could also add it with the map frame here. We select the map frame, and we've got our map frame. You can see here that there's a map, and it has some subject in it. So on the layout, we can go over and do map frame, and the little drop down, select the information we want, and then draw the box here on the page, so we have our map. Now, we'll talk about later about how you zoom in and zoom out and actually change the scale, which you can do down on the bottom. We're just going to leave it the way it is and add the features we need. I'm going to add the north arrow to it, draw that in the corner here for the north arrow. Scale bar, I'm going to pick just any old scale bar and draw the little box for the scale bar. And then I'm going to legend, and I'm going to put the legend on it. And now each of these are objects. The map is an object, the legend is an object, the scale bar is an object, the map's an object. You see, I'm left-clicking on them, and once I left-click on them, and I can change their properties if I want. Now I want to put some text in it, so I'm going to draw a little rectangle over in the text box here. I'm going to draw a little rectangle in the text box, and in the text box I've got my text in there, and I'm going to type in, say, my first map or something of that sort. Now, I want to change this font so a little bigger. So what I'm going to do is I've got this selected, and I'm going to use the symbology of that particular that text, the format text. You know, the symbology of this, all right? And so I click on the symbology of the format text, and I want to do text symbol, and if you get a little mixed up here, it's a little easy to get mixed up. I want to do properties, and I want to do appearance, and the appearance here, see, the appearance is where I want to be, and I want to change that to something like 36, something of that sort, so I have a bigger my bigger words there for my first map. Now I can move this around by selecting it. I'm going to select that, and I can move it around. I could do other things and center it and so on, but I really don't want to do anything more. That's what we need. Your elements that you're being graded on is a title, the subject, the legend, scale bar, and the north arrow. Now I want to go about sharing this or getting it out onto a PDF. So, I'm going to do the Share tab here, the Share, and I'm going to share that layout, okay? And that layout, I'm going to share it as a PDF, and I'll give it a name, and I'll give this name like Lab 1 Part 1 or something of that sort. You always want to, image quality, save it as 96 or something like that, something simple and fast. We really don't need a lot of high quality in these. And I want to put this into a place where it's saved. So I'm going to go to Share on my home directory, on my folder, and I'm going to go to the L1, so it's in the L1, and I can save it wherever I want it to be, and I'm going to then export it. So now I've got a PDF on my L drive, so I can submit that on Canvas for my first part. Now, before you go, you want to make sure you go over and save your project. And you're either saving your project as Save As or Save, depending on where you are, and I'm gonna put saved Lab 1 or something of that sort. So I have my project saved, so if I want to come back to it, I'm able to. This ends this video. Thank you very much.